Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is BobLyn and welcome back to another video. So a lot of you have requested the Black Amalfi and for good reason. It is in the shipyard right now and I cannot for the life of me remember what it costs. I believe it was some 10 to 15 copper and then 20 titanium. I don't know. I don't have the historical camo, but there it is. I'm using the top 10 one. Here it is without camo and looking absolutely beautiful, of course. For the equipment, I run main battery mod 3 because you don't get a precise aim, you get precise rapid reload instead. So I have my standard steering and detection because having surface detection in this is actually quite powerful. We have main battery traverse speed as our elite bonus, and that makes it so we can take dispersion and actually, keep these guns turning fast. I only have a level 6 commander, but we got battlefield support, artillery maintenance, victorious charge, fire supremacy, and recon and surveillance. If he was higher level, I would take fully prepared. I wouldn't take Mistweaver, but you could do it. It reduces the reload time of the smoke, but you only have 2, so I would take adrenaline rush. Then demolition expert, master reloader, APCS, and probably giant hunter since I actually use the torpedoes quite a lot. So let's hop in the game, and I got a pretty cool one for you, 100k damage versus a lot of BBs, and that is kind of the whole thing with this Black Amalfi. We got another one in this team who's going to do quite good actually and defend the base. But we're going to go flanking, and I want to hunt DDs because there is 3 on the enemy team, and that's pretty good actually. Most of the time in tier 8, there can be a lot of BBs, and I will say this, I think that's what's holding the Amalfi back. It's kind of a niche role you're filling. You're really good at hunting DDs. And the rapid reload sonar makes this thing exceptionally good at that. And you'll see in just a minute here when we spot the first one. Amalfi is also great at taking out light cruisers, similar cruisers, heavy cruisers. But the BBs can be hard. And you need to be precise and kite, which we'll also do in this game. Since you don't have HE and you're forced to rely on SAP or AP, you don't really get to farm BBs as well. So you gotta be precise and hit the bow or the stern. That's what I think is holding the Amalfi back. So you can get really unlucky and get a matchmaker where you're against like 3 Atlanticos, a couple Bismarcks, and a Roma, right? We've all tried it. Or you can get the matchmaking where you're against 4 DDs and you just have the time of your life. But to play against the BBs, as we smack this guy for half his HP, a little input lag unfortunately. He sends his torpedoes. This is why the sonar is just so good compared to the normal Amalfi, where you only get a precise aim and a fuel smoke. I think you also get DFA, I can't quite remember. Anyways, I prefer this suite of consumables or skills instead of the normal Amalfi, and compared to the normal Amalfi, this thing is a beast. The only thing that it does lack is precision, and that's why I take dispersion mod. So for the build, let me speak a little bit on it. I think detection is the way to go on these kinds of cruisers because you want to get the drop on a DD. What we did here was follow our Benson and make sure that we spot the enemy DD first. And then once he's committed, there's not really much he can do to me. So he's currently, trying to get away, so I'm going to focus my attention on this Kutuzov here. A very lightly armored target, and even the sap will do considerable damage, as you can see here. So he smokes up, single smoke has been used, and now we spot the Benson, and, well, let me just line up a very, very devastating salvo for a DD at this HP. But basically 1 shell is enough, as you can see here. That is the power of Amalfi. It can definitely take a flank, and it's one of those ships where, if it's a map like this, where, you spawn on the flanks, and you have a DD with you, I suggest you do it. The downsides are obviously you don't have HE. As you can see there, the sap did no damage. I just have to test it. I had to test to see what it does to Kansas. Absolutely nothing on a full broadside, so it makes sense. So in a situation like this, kite away, swap to AP, and just hammer him. But we have other problems to deal with. We got this Kutuzov, who's still here, and he's full broadside somehow. We got a rapid reload running, and I'm just gonna, do some damage to him. So these are 203mm guns, so obviously they do hurt. And that's why you mainly will rely on your AP in this ship. If you use SAP too much, I think you're going to be finding that your consistency in damage is just not as good as with the AP. You got to be really precise with the SAP if you want to do good damage, and I think you got to be close to actually pen some of the BBs. But here the AP is just phenomenal. I mean, it's a precise ship when you have mod 3 in. I tried it without and ran a reload mod, so to get even more DPM. But I simply found that without a precise aim, I didn't quite hit the target. So this Mikhail Kutuzov goes broadside one last time, and yeah, that's it. So you can see the AP smacks any lightly armored cruiser. So now our team is kind of divided. We have 2 DDs in our spawn, but luckily, you know, the Black Amalfi I was talking about, he is still there, and he's actually defending the base, and that's what makes this game winnable. Because me and this DD have definitely committed to flanking, and the same with the BB on the western flank. This set 23 takes out our CV, and we're kind of in a sticky position. But luckily, the Black Amalfi again pulls out, and I mean, I don't even need to kill that many DDs to get my point across that Amalfi or Black Amalfi is very good at killing DDs with SAP, because this guy just took care of 2 DDs. So now we're against the Monarch, and I mean, the Monarch's not that tanky, but he can still damage us quite a lot. And the name of the game here with a ship like this is kiting. So currently he's trying to get away from us. So I need to move closer so I don't get out of range, because I have to help my DD. He's going in for a top run, and this is a Monarch, so yeah, I think enough said. That is a Monarch, and if he hits a good salvo with HE, that DD is dead, pretty much. Now, he did get some torpedoes off, which helps us a little bit. The Monarch is pretty good at dodging those, so we have a half HP Monarch with heals probably to deal with, and we're half HP ourselves. We don't have any more fuel smokes. This is a pretty tough situation. Luckily, my North Carolina pulls it out and kills their CV, so we're ahead in points, and I could potentially go down here, and hopefully we would still win. But we're gonna keep kiting and maintaining this very sharp angle. You have to maintain an angle, and notice my rudder movements. Notice how much I am feathering the throttle, feathering the rudder, and just making it as hard as possible for this Monarch to hit me. So we hit him with a torp, got a float, but look at this, he's healing again, and he is actually very difficult to take down. You see, I'm only getting half pens, some non-pens. That is because I'm hitting his belt, and sorry, not his belt, his deck, and into his superstructure. You really want to only hit his superstructure. That's the 700 damage you see there, because the shell pens, you know, maybe the top of the bridge, let's call it that, and it goes all the way down, and it does full damage. But when you just hit the deck, you're just gonna get 300 instead. So you really have to be precise. And because of my sharp angle, he actually has a very hard time taking us out, and we managed to stay alive and bring it home and actually get 100k damage in an Amalfi. That's pretty rare. We only shot 1 DD, 166 shell hits, and he almost takes us out here. And I actually think that would have been a draw if he did. Maybe they would have won because they have a BB and we have a cruiser, but I am, you know, clenching everything I have, because that cruiser out there is very close to a Kansas, and there's still 25 seconds left. We could still end up losing this, and I don't have time to pull it back. So I'm very tensed up here looking. He just shot one side of his ship. Now the other one's probably coming. I'm hoping that my teammate knows what he's doing, but it seems like he's trying to get away behind the island, and the game is secured. So good work to my team. They definitely, you know, held their own, and it was a pretty fun game. I think it showcased what the Amalfi can do and what it can't do. It's not, you know, impossible to fight BB only games, or, you know, where there's no destroyers, but you're gonna have a harder time. When there's only DDs, you're gonna have the most fun. So on a scaling of, you know, a rating of 1 to 10, I will give the Black Amalfi here a solid 8 out of 10 compared to other tier 8 cruisers. It's really fun, it's really good, and I think you should get it. It's considerably cheap in the shipyard, and it's a very fun ship. My name has been BobLyn. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm signing out.